Members, you will now vote on Article 1. I will read the article for you each time. Disregard of official duty, protection of charitable organization. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton violated the duties of his office by failing to act as public protector of charitable organizations as required by Chapter 123 of the Property Code. Specifically, Paxton caused employees of his office to intervene in a lawsuit brought by the Roy F. and Joanne Cole Mitty Foundation against several corporate entities controlled by Nate Paul. Paxton harmed the Mitty Foundation in an effort to benefit Paul. A yea, total 14 yeas, 16 nays. A finding of acquittal is entered as to Article 1. Members, you will now vote on Article 2, disregard of official duty, abuse of the opinion process. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton misused his official power to issue written legal opinions under Subchapter C, Chapter 402 Government Code. Specifically, Paxton caused employees of his office to prepare an opinion in an attempt to avoid the impending foreclosure sales of properties belonging to Nate Paul or business entities controlled by Paul. Paxton concealed his actions by soliciting the chair of a Senate committee to serve as a straw requester. Furthermore, Paxton directed employees of his office to reverse their legal conclusion for the benefit of Paul. There being 14 yeas, 16 nays, a finding of acquittal is entered for Article 2. Members, you will now be voting on Article 3, disregard of official duty, abuse of the open records process. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton misused his official power to administer the Public Information Law, Chapter 552 of the Government Code. Specifically, Paxton directed employees of his office to act contrary to law by refusing to render a proper decision relating to a public information request for records held by the Department of Public Safety, and by issuing a decision involving another public information request that was contrary to law and applicable to legal precedent. There being 14 ayes, 16 nays, the finding of acquittal is entered for Article 3. Members, you are now voting on Article 4, disregard of official duty, misuse of official information. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton misused his official power to administer the Public Information Law, Chapter 552 of the Government Code. Specifically, Paxton improperly obtained access to information held by his office that had not been publicly disclosed for the purpose of providing information to the benefit of Nate Paul. 28 nays, 2 yeas. A finding of acquittal is entered for Article 4. Members, you will now vote on Article 5, disregard of official duty, engagement of CAMIC. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton misused his official powers by violating the laws governing the appointment of prosecuting attorneys pro tem. Specifically, Paxton engaged Brandon Kamek, a licensed attorney, to conduct an investigation into a baseless complaint during which Kamek issued more than 30 grand jury subpoenas in an effort to benefit Nate Paul or Paul's business entities. 13 yeas, 17 nays. A finding of acquittal is entered for Article 5. Members, you will now be voting on Article 6, disregard of official duty, termination of whistleblowers. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton violated the duties of his office by terminating and taking adverse personal action against employees of his office in violation of this state's whistleblower law, Chapter 554 of the Government Code. Specifically, Paxton terminated employees of his office who made good faith reports in his unlawful actions to law enforcement authorities. Paxton terminated the employees without good cause or due process and in retaliation for reporting his illegal acts and improper conduct. Furthermore, Paxton engaged in a public and private campaign to impugn the employees' professional reputations or prejudice their future employment. There being 14 yeas and 16 nays, a finding of acquittal is entered for Article 6. Members, we now move on for you to vote on Article 7, misapplication of public resources, whistleblower investigation and report. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton misused public resources entrusted to him. Specifically, Paxton directed employees of his office to conduct a sham investigation into whistleblower complaints made by employees whom Paxton had terminated and to create and publish a lengthy written report containing false and misleading statements in Paxton's defense. 14 ayes, 16 nays. A finding of acquittal is entered as to Article 7. Members, you will now vote on Article 8, disregard of official duty settlement agreement. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton misused his official powers by concealing his wrongful acts in connection with whistleblower complaints made by employees whom Paxton had terminated. Specifically, Paxton entered into a settlement agreement with the whistleblowers that provides for payment of the settlement from public funds. The settlement agreement stayed the wrongful termination suit and conspicuously delayed the discovery of facts and testimony at trial to Paxton's advantage, which deprived the electorate of its opportunity to make an informed decision when voting for Attorney General. There being 8 yeas and 22 nays, a finding of acquittal is entered for Article 8. Members, you will now vote on Article 9, constitutional bribery, Paul's employment of mistress. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton engaged in bribery in violation of Section 41, Article 16, Texas Constitution. Specifically, Paxton benefited from Nate Paul's employment of a woman with whom Paxton was having an extramarital affair. Paul received favorable legal assistance from or specialized access to the office of the Attorney General. There being 12 yeas and 18 nays, a finding of acquittal is entered for Article 9. We have 16 total articles to vote on. We are now on Article number 10. Constitutional bribery, Paul's providing renovations to the Paxton home. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton engaged in bribery in violation of Section 41, Article 16, Texas Constitution. Specifically, Paxton benefited from Nate Paul providing renovations to Paxton's home. Paul received favorable legal assistance from or specialized access to the office of the Attorney General. Being 14 yeas, 16 nays, a finding of acquittal is entered as to Article 10. We are now to Article 11. I'm sorry, it's Article 15 because we skipped a few numbers. False statements in official records, whistleblower response report. This is Article 15. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton made false or misleading statements in official records to mislead both the public and public officials. Specifically, Paxton made or caused to be made multiple false or misleading statements in a lengthy written report issued by his office in response to whistleblower allegations. There being 14 yeas and 16 nays, the finding of acquittal is entered for Article 15. Members, you will now vote on Article 16, conspiracy and attempted conspiracy. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton acted with others to conspire or attempt to conspire to commit acts described in one or more articles. 14 yeas, 16 nays, a finding of acquittal is entered for Article 16. Members, you are now voting on Article 17, misappropriation of public resources while holding office as Attorney General. Warren Kenneth Paxton misused his official powers by causing employees of his office to perform services for his benefit and the benefit of others. 14 yeas, 16 nays, a finding of acquittal is entered to Article 17. Members, you will now vote on Article 18, dereliction of duty. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton violated the Texas Constitution, his oaths of office, statutes, and public policy against public officials acting contrary to the public interest by engaging in acts described in one or more articles. There being 14 yeas and 16 nays, a finding of acquittal is entered as to Article 18. Members, you will now vote on Article 19, unfitness for office. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton engaged in misconduct, private or public, of such character as to indicate his unfitness for office, as shown by the acts described in one or more articles. 14 yeas, 16 nays, a finding of acquittal is entered for Article 19. Members, this is the last article for you to vote on, Article 20, abuse of public trust. While holding office as Attorney General, Warren Kenneth Paxton used, misused, or failed to use his official powers in a manner calculated to subvert the lawful operation of the government of the state of Texas and to obstruct the fair and impartial administration of justice, thereby bringing the office of Attorney General into scandal and disrepute to the prejudice of public confidence in the government of this state, as shown by the acts described in one or more articles. So there being 14 yeas and 16 nays, a finding of acquittal is entered as to Article 20. Senator Birdwell, I understand you have a motion. Members, do you still have a blank form on your desk? So you will vote yea is to dismiss the remaining articles, nay is to deny the motion to dismiss. So yea is to dismiss, a nay vote is to deny. Please mark your ballots carefully. There being 19 yeas and 11 nays, the motion is granted.